Laura, you were in the courtroom. Take it away.
This was unbelievable to watch Nicolas Maduro walk into a courtroom here in the United States of America. He had on tan pants. He had an orange, almost scrub-like prison garb, and then he had a blue shirt on top of that, covered and appeared to be some sort of a white lint of some kind. He walked in. He is very tall. He stood next to his attorneys. He was flanked by two of them. His wife on the other side of her. She had visible injuries in terms of bandages on her right temple and on her forehead as well. Both of them appeared to be a little bit stoic and also having difficulty sitting and getting up from their chairs. Nicolas Maduro, in particular, had to brace himself on either side of the arm of his chair to lower his body, which is very particularly tall. During that, there was an opportunity for him to speak to the judge. The judge asked him whether he, in fact, was Nicolas Maduro Moro and asked him to identify himself, which is totally routine anytime someone goes for a court to be presented. This was the opportunity that what he says to be the president of Venezuela began to speak. He did not just state his name. He described himself as a prisoner of war, talked about having been captured from his home in Venezuela, saying that he is still the president of that country. The judge interrupted him and told him there'll be plenty of time to describe the legality of the removal from your home and also, of course, about your defenses. Right now, I just want you to tell me whether or not you are Nicolas Maduro Moro, to which he said, soy Nicolas Maduro Moro. At that point in time, he was also offered the opportunity to have all the charges read to him. He said he wanted to do it personally. I should tell you, Dana, he was taking copious notes throughout this. By the time the judge even asked about the first count, he was nearly to the end of his legal pad. He was speaking to his attorney. He had a headset on, him and his wife, for a translator and interpreter to be able to communicate with him. I will note at one point in time, there was a moment when he responded to the judge directly without having first been translated, presumably that he may have understood, particularly in English. I'll also note that during the conversation, he would look over to his wife, who, as I mentioned, had bandages on her temple and also to her forehead. That was referenced by her own attorney when they were talking about medical attention. He asked about whether or not he had, whether he was an innocent man. He asked if he was going to plead guilty or not guilty, at which point in time he described he was innocent, not guilty, and that he was a decent man, he said, and still president of his country. His wife saying that she is the first lady of the Republic of Venezuela. I'll note their hands. When Maduro spoke, quite confidently, he would have his fingertips touching the desk. Meanwhile, his wife had her hands almost in the fist, much more demure, much more withdrawn in many respects. And then he described again that he was innocent, not guilty, and have done anything mentioned in the indictment. To which the wife also said she was no culpable, completamente inocente, not guilty, completely innocent. It was a request by both to visit the consular and have those visits actually there as well. And also, Maduro said he had one request. He wanted to have his notes respected and to be able to retain them as well. And then, Dana, there was a moment at the end of this when our own Gordon Ibach, who is a news associate, was leaving the courtroom. He witnessed a protester get up as they were escorting Maduro and his wife out of the courtroom. And apparently that protester said that you will pay for what you have done to Maduro. Wow. Who in turn pointed to the sky and said that he was a man of God and the president of the Republic of Venezuela.